Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, we get the right guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. Today's show is very different because we're celebrating a company on its 35th anniversary. Started at a garage in Osu somewhere. It's now a multinational, global company. 4 companies in all, part of the group, providing service for many critical government services, border control, national identification, DVLA, and the rest of them, and also pushing the boundaries in other countries. We're speaking to Moses Baiden on building a multinational with $100 in 35 years. Stay with us.
My name is Anita Erskine, and on December 19th and 20th, right here in Accra, Ghana, we will gather for the Diaspora Summit 2025, a defining moment in strengthening the bond between Ghana and her global family. Under the theme Resetting Ghana, the Diaspora as the 17th region, this summit, hosted by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, will bring together leaders and experts from around the world to advance partnerships, explore reparations and heritage linkages, and of course, mobilize diaspora talent for national development. I invite you to be part of this powerful conversation shaping Ghana and the diaspora's future. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center, December 19th and 20th. Do register at www.diasporasummitghana.org. See you there.
Hello? Hello, Auntie Abena. You won't believe what just happened. Grandma received her 4 TV. 4 TVs? Yes, 4.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm
not. It's like a scandal now. You are using it to spread grandma like that.
Spread grandma?
4 TVs, 2 fridges, microwave. Abba, Kojo, why? Do you want to open an electrical shop for her?
Hey, no. Eh? It's a regular 100 cities I send her.
I'm sure it's Uncle Atu.
Let's call him.
Atu? Why?
Atu?
Why are you spreading a grandma with appliances?
Me? Spread who? When? How? Please, it could be Amma.
Let's call Amma.
Let me call her.
Hello?
Amma, why?
What are you saying?
Appliances for grandma, no. Why?
Hey, it's not me, oh.
There are some that are critical.
Let's call grandma.
Hello?
Hey, grandma. So who is buying all those stuff for you?
Call me Granny Cash. Grandma know the joke, the luckiest. If they do me 5 years. When I buy ticket 100 cities, I pay them small or big. I automatically get my free gifts.
Hey, sir! Yes, so with the luckiest, anytime you buy tickets up to 100 cities, whether small or at once, you are guaranteed to win a free gift. TV sets, fridges, hampers, airtime, cash. Remember to dial *712#, choose option 4 and follow the prompt. With the luckiest, everybody wins. Even Granny Cash.
So tonight, my guest is not a man who does a lot of media, but we feel it's important to talk to him at an important junction like this. So the Margins Group is 35 years old. They've been engaging the media, trying to tell their story. And there's a number of reasons why we're doing this interview, because we've seen African excellence in many industries, the extractives, we've seen in logistics, but in a technical area like identity and security, you don't really see a lot of African companies do world-class work. Moses Baiden has been at the forefront of the Margins Group. He says to me the most important work is done is not even the Margins Group. It's to be the Busiapeni of all emancipation boys. But that's not the interview's focus today. But let's welcome Moses Baiden to The Point of View. Welcome, Moses.
Thank you, Bernard.
Congratulations on 35 years of Margins.
Thank you.
Amazing stuff.
Much.
You said to me a few months ago when we were doing the emancipation interview that the most important work you've done, I thought you were being modest. Because the Margins is a crazy story. $100 to what you are today.
I think the Margins is a better story.
Okay.
And yes, business has its impact in transforming society and empowering people to learn and advance, and also providing resources to impact the economy and people's lives. But the Advancement story is 150 years old. And that's actually to transform a nation. And the examples that have gone before that we try to repeat is to encourage people to be that enlightened, to go beyond self and profits, and to think about the impact that they're making internationally. And that's why I said the advancement job is the most important job in terms of its impact.
So to transform a country, if I were to force you to choose between strong companies and good education, which one would you choose?
They are both connected.
Which comes first?
Oh, education. I use education in a holistic sense. I don't mean academic education.
All right.
Character, training, values, and the pursuit of, enlightenment. People's values define what they do. I mean, you can be a billionaire, and if you value that, that's fine. You can also be an excellent teacher. You can be an excellent pastor. You can be an excellent political activist. It's your impact that matters. So really, when you talk about values internal.
But how important are good, strong businesses in transforming a country?
Oh, the real sector, when I say the real sectors, is the sectors that actually produce goods and services and raise the GDP of a company.
Yeah.
They need expertise, they need experience, and this is provided by not just a theoretical education, but also by undergoing a rigorous apprenticeship and mentorship.
Yeah.
People have to train you.
Yeah.
And people have to instill in you certain values. And those values then become automatic so that you don't feel the heavy lifting. I mean, to put it in simple terms, if you are used to waking up at a certain time a day and working 14 hours a day, and you are enthused about the work, and you're pursuing an ideal, you don't feel the pain of it. But if your idea is to be slothful and wake up and do nothing, and be thinking about only what to do, and simple things that may be physical and material but are not inspiring, you feel the weight of work. So those set of values and goals, if they're enlightened, they impact that productivity. You're not just doing it for yourself or just the profits. It matters the end game. So for instance, if you talk about margins, starting with $100 and wanting to build a global company from the middle of the world, where do you get that idea from? You hear me? The thing is, you think, okay, we're in a business environment, we're not interested in building a small cottage business or a shop, or you're thinking about being productive. You're thinking about using the productive forces to scale and proving that you can reverse this negative picture that Africans are just consumers and dancers and all kinds of things. But human beings have true potential, no matter where they are settled. And if we can just enhance that with education and training, the proper training, a child settled in any corner, in any village in Africa.
Yeah. I read a book co-authored by Obasanjo and co. This is like 7 years ago. And he said, Africa needs a third liberation. And he says it was an economic type. That we've had political independence and other kinds of independence. But right now, we don't have economic power. And he believes that that should be the focus of our leaders. Did you agree with him?
It's a mindset shift. It's a mindset shift. What we think about, what we think is great, what we think is worth pursuing. It's in your mind. And so that's why when you juxtapose education and training and apprenticeship and mentorship and discipline, and you come to think of it as a science, there are certain tools that you use to be efficient and to be effective. There are certain systems, there are certain processes, there are certain subjects that you have to be an expert in order to be able to make decisions. There are certain data analytics that you have to have. I'm not talking about computers, but about decision making. There are certain ways that you look at certain options, and every decision has cost benefit to every option. The framework within which you analyze these determine the outcomes. So if you are not trained properly, I mean, you can be trained in any subject. I know you have an MBA and you're a journalist. But I listen to the City Business View and City Business News in the morning because the topics that are discussed, the viewpoints, and the freshness of the ideas draw me to it. You know, so this is the same.
So it's not even the technical knowledge; it's the philosophy, the mindset.
It's what you guys are pursuing.
That's what it is.
The things that
that's
you
what
talk
differentiates.
about.
So it's the same with business and
Exactly. So you have another journalist who doesn't have your education, but they can also have your education, but not have your passion for the things that you talk about. You know, so you have their subject expertise, but you don't have the passion, right? The subject expertise is something you learn. I'm a lawyer, right? I'm a trained lawyer, so I've learned law for 7 years at least. I've done IT for more than that, for over 30.
So the mindset, the passion, and the pursuit.
Yes.
The training you get is basically just a basis.
Yeah. So you get a certain set of discipline by going to good schools and learning well that you take for granted.
Yeah.
Then you take that discipline and knowledge and you can apply it to anything.
So if I take what you're saying, it means that for you, running margins is not about even making money. It's more to prove a point and also to use it to start other things. It's not about just becoming a successful businessman. That's not what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, my father was an exceptional businessman, you know, who worked in several countries and assets in many countries. And so money is not really that interesting by itself.
You also know a rags to riches story. It's
not really.
It's not. Yeah.
Not really. But my father always said that, look, my money is mine. You have to pursue your own money. So you never grew up saying my father is rich, so I'm going to inherit his money. You know, you thought that, okay, I need to build something for myself. He said, if they take everything from you and they put it on the street, you have to be able to survive. So that's how you're trained. And so when you learn that and you're not spoiled, so to speak, you know, you're thinking of the big ideas that's going to make an impact. You know, and money is a tool for pursuing those ideas. Because if you have money, you can pursue your ideas. You can bring them to fruition. The things that make you happy. You know, you can build libraries, you can have a lot of books, you can build ICT centers, you can do the things that make you happy, right? But if you take even some of the greatest people that make money and give it away, you don't say Warren Buffett has lived in the same house that he bought. His passion was to invest.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I do with all the money. But you have only one lifetime. How much money can you really spend? I mean, I have my own pet, should I say, pet hobbies and things that I like. Some of them are expensive, you know, and I juxtapose that against my other things that I like to do. So among the gamut of things that are interesting for you, you will balance that out, and it won't be money. You get me? Yeah, it won't be money. It will be what you value.
I see.
So, but somebody can see, I like cars. I have some expensive cars. So a guy says, oh, why does he waste his money on cars? That's because my father was in transport and put me in engines and, you know, so it's a certain passion.
Oriented you there.
Yes, so, but I also like seeing ideas materialize, especially when they are enlightened. I like to see small businesses succeed. When I see people doing entrepreneurial things and they are smart and hardworking, I get attracted to that. I feel like helping them. Either by contributing ideas or helping them navigate. And when that succeeds and I see that, I'm just happy. I don't have to get anything from it. It's just by making sure that they are succeeding. You know, and when I see young people come into the company, when I see them enter where they are coming from, some of them are from very far away, as they say. And then you see them after 36 months, 4 months, and you see they've improved, they've changed. Their quality is visible. You get excited.
Let me tell viewers a bit more about Margins Group so they know where we are coming from. So today the News Center did a very interesting article on its front page. It says, by any global measure, Margins ID Group sits in a rare company. It's Africa's most certified secure production facility for intelligent cards and security products. It's also the first African firm to manufacture a secure national ID card on African soil. It's the first African company to serve as a prime contractor for a national ID project anywhere on the continent. And beyond Ghana, its footprints stretch across 8 countries with operations and subsidiaries in Europe, North America, and West Africa. So it's a serious company with almost 10 certifications of various world-class qualities. You started this 35 years ago with $100 as a first-year law student. That sounds almost unfathomable. So we don't have time to go into all the details, but is this correct? $100.
Yes.
First-year law student at Legon.
Yes.
Age 20.
I actually started at 23 and I registered the company at 24.
And at the time you were doing, what were you doing? What were you doing at the time? I mean, what business was it?
No, so when personal computers displaced typewriters and people started printing on laser printers and inkjets and different kinds of paper and substrates, the way the documents were protected, presented, and preserved changed.
Okay.
And people in offices also use different kinds of paper and so on. We went into the revolution selling the paper, the binding equipment, which is the finishing equipment, and the laminating equipment. And we bet on the fact that every single place where there was a computer, there should be outputting documents. And we're the first to be selling these systems to these companies. So all we did was build databases, follow the computer sales, and sell these things. And the reason why we're doing that is because these things use consumables. And we learn to customize them to suit the different companies in order to build some brand loyalty. So for instance, if City's colors are blue and red, we would make special covers for City. I even brought in production machines for making the actual binding combs and put City on them. So once you start buying from me,
you won't stop.
You won't stop. And the average spend a year was, in those days, about $1,000 for the professional companies. The accountants, the consultants, everybody who printed documents. So if you basically have 1,000 machines in 1,000 places and you kept the databases and build the customer relationship management interface and follow the use of the consumables, and you brought new ways of how people could present their documents, you made $1 billion.
So it's literally printing, binding, and all the things that the new computer revolution would need by hardware.
Exactly. And consumables.
And you made a lot of money there.
A lot of money.
But then you decided you were going to switch into identity after how many years?
No, because this market wasn't the office market, was in the professional graphics market. Where professional graphic market, those who make posters and billboards and so on. And then the commercial printing market, printing presses. For instance, some of the film that we used to sell, it's what used to laminate book covers. People don't know that. We had several segments of the market. On the industrial side, we were the ones who supplied all printing presses with laminating film for book covers. We're the ones who supplied all printing presses with binding wires for calendars, for diaries, and hooks for hanging the calendars. We're the ones who were supplying, for instance, the West African Examination Council with all the laminating film and automatic laminating machines for laminating their certificates so they couldn't be falsified.
Wow.
And in the lamination market, we were providing ID services, small pouch laminating services for everybody.
All this is in the 90s?
In the 90s. We were the lead, but there were no competitors.
You gave some very interesting stories around how you saved state protocol who needed to print passports and they had a problem. At the time, you were still in your 20s.
I think I was 27 or something.
What did they need and how did you supply it?
No, because I went deeply into this laminating market. I had, of course, apart from my father's mentorship as a businessman, so I'm self-trained. But I also had mentors in Europe. So Dr. Wolfensberger, who owned a company called Ibico, which you can see on your screen.
This is a Swiss guy?
The Swiss guy. He had companies in 25 countries. He gave me the agency for the whole of West Africa for Ibico.
Okay.
But he was in the office market. But when I wanted to go to the professional graphics, the security ID market, and the commercial market, he said, look, my market is the office, but I have a friend in Korea called Yong Pyong Kim. He's a great engineer, and he's into all those markets.
So you opened the Korean to meet that guy?
And then he taught me everything else I need to know. He had huge factories. At one time, he was the biggest laminating firm in the world.
Wow.
And he taught me everything over 15 years. In laminate, security, extrusion, all the things I know, including manufacturing, right? So when I entered that space, he then taught me the other security parts.
But you were still based in Ringway?
I was in my father's
Ringway. Still doing work with people from Switzerland.
Yes.
Even while you were dealing with the Korean
I couldn't
guy.
even see that I was in the boys' quarters.
So you were working from your father's boys' quarters?
Yes.
But still dealing with people in...
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Later on, we built another building near the boys' quarters where we had a warehouse. I put some containers. I built a front office.
So what did State Protocol want from you when you were 27?
So State Protocol, I decided that people were faking the Ghanaian passport. So they wanted to change the film, and I consulted an advisor who had advised them to change it from a cold film, where a cold film is a film with an adhesive, like what you use for your voter's ID, which we were the ones who first supplied in Ghana anyway, since 92. So all the voters' ID cards, we used to make them. Anyway, nobody knows that, but it was a lot of money. So this cold film, you peel like they do now, and then you laminate. But they wanted to, people were removing.
And then they'll put somebody else's photo or change.
So this expert had advised them to put on a hot melt film.
So you can't remove it?
The hot melt film, you actually put it through a laminator and apply heat and pressure. So and it melts and bonds. If
like
you try to move it, you
it's not
destroy
going to move, yeah.
But the person who had advised them and done the orders for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of passports, either he died or something happened to him. And so when the passports arrived, it wasn't their usual code laminate. And they didn't understand lamination, so they didn't know what to do.
Oh.
And it had already been paid for and had ordered, they didn't know how to laminate it. So because one of our mottos used to be buying and laminating film, and you can see at trade fairs, we're always at trade fairs exhibiting new laminators. Somebody said there's only one person who can solve this problem. You have to go and find him in Ringgo Estates. So he's called Moses Baiden. So I was there when the Foreign Affairs people came in their Porsche cars, and they said they were looking for Moses Baiden.
In your boys' quarters house?
I was some 27-year-old guy. You know.
They probably thought you were your father.
So when they saw that I was only 20-something, they went, but this guy, how can he solve this problem? So they took me to their boss. There was Mr. Saki, he was head of research in the Foreign Affairs office in, near what was it called? Conference Center.
Conference Center.
Around that area. So when I went, they gave me the problem. By giving me so as soon as I looked at it, I knew it was hot melt film. And I knew that it had to be put into a hot melt passport laminator. Because the passport laminator is quite different from a flat laminator. Because the laminator is somewhere in the book. So you need to be able to put infrared heat and pressure through.
So there was nobody in Ghana who could do this?
No, even what I'm telling you, people today don't understand it.
So how did you solve the problem?
No, so I knew what to do, but I had to go to Korea and get a passport laminator, explain to Kim that it had to be modified because the book was slightly thicker, and then be able to laminate it. But I didn't send them the proposal because every time I send the proposal, people stole the idea.
People still do that today.
So I said to them that I'm not sending you a proposal. I'm going to go and come back in a week. When I come back in a week, I'll come and laminate the passport.
All of them?
Oh no, they were supposed to be in all the missions worldwide. So I was going to show them that
how you're going to do it, and then they would, if they like it,
they would tell me what they wanted to buy.
So you went to Korea and came back in a week?
In a week, yeah. Those days I was young.
So you got your guy to design the thing for you?
I went there, I went into the engineering department. I discussed with Kim what had to be done. He modified the drawings. He had it built in a day. And then I flew back with the machine. When I came, there were about 20, 30 old people were sitting around the table waiting for me to come in because they had to issue the passports. So I got there, I laminated the passports, and then everybody started clapping. So they gave me the contract to provide these laminators in 36 missions in Ghana worldwide.
Wow.
And I did that contract for over a decade.
Age in your 20s?
Yes.
Amazing.
I financed it. I conceptualized it. I financed it. It was a lot of money. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So before we got to NIA and all these things, you had been doing things for the state at various levels?
Oh, everybody who's our customer now, most of them have been our customers. They've been our customers for 35 years.
You're also involved in a NAM conference.
Yes, so fast forward from the lamination, as the company was evolving. You see, businesses don't stay static, and the needs of customers change. That's why businesses die. Because when the needs of customers change, the value chain changes. And the way that the customers are served changes. So new businesses come up and disrupt the original value chain and create new value chain systems, right? So I decided that the office market was getting computerized and there was not such a big competitive advantage or expertise that will hinder entry into some markets. They weren't that complicated. But the identity market was very interesting. And when I looked at, I had 30 years, right? I thought that the biggest market would be the identity market because I figured out that Africa will be over 1 billion people. And there was nobody in that space. And it was quite complicated. And I had learned and been taught these basics. So the small ID service company that we used to have on the table making IDs for people, after this passport contract, I decided to go into identity and to abandon my other businesses. And my banker said I was very stupid because I was making a lot of money.
But he didn't see what you saw.
My head of banking corporate, Steve, told me that, oh, Moses, you're making so much money with this laminator. Why do you want to go into this new thing? You should stay focused. And I told him that market is going to die. This other market is going to die. We needed to go to the future. Steve Odoy, you can ask him.
Wow.
You know, so I switched and went into identity because at that time there was a fusion between the new computer world and the fiscal document world. It started with the bank cards. Bank cards had magnetic strip behind them that you could encode information that you use in ATM. But people like Kodak and so on learned to print on plastic, right? And then put chips in them. So when I saw that conversion, I said, wow, this is changing. This space is going to digitize identity and put intelligence in it. So we have to invest in it. So I was part of this Korean group of about 50 plus CEOs who represented Kim, my mentored friend, in different countries. And so I started talking to my Brazilian friend who had a card factory in Brazil. And said, listen, I want to be in this market, not only in the manufacture, but also in the technology part of it. Since you started, why don't you transfer the knowledge to me? You know, and he said, oh, Brazil is close to Ghana, but it's a bit far if you want to get there because there's no direct flights. You better speak to another partner of ours who's in Denmark. He's also started on that journey. He's built his own software. He's already aggregated the suppliers around the world. And he's top of the Danish market. If you speak with him, there's a shorter route for you.
So that's how you got to meet Peter?
That's how I came to meet Peter Blom, because Peter Blom and I were in that GMP family, what we call the GMP family.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a bit about other things. So this company now provides service for NIA, DVLA, has done work for NHIA, even the Controller and Accountant General's Department. They are in your space. We'll talk about how they are also in many African countries and how the company has evolved. This is the Point of View special edition. Stay with us.
Rooted in heritage. Shaped by ambition. Defined by style. Inspired by soul. This is Afro Quality, the first multi-country concept store for African brands. Now in Nairobi, Kigali, and Accra.
Unbelievable. Said you have a city and the Amama Kai or baby and home. Wow! Hello, Miss World.
Hello, Ajimara.
Now I hear now what to say.
Me who yo, madam for be ho e wakase. Me ne ye nneema do so.
Me nya na nka me wogana. Na so me talk, me na wiase na ma be pie electronic shop bi a kire say. Said you have city no. Na ohunfo nyini ene shawo mani so say. Me ba but the gold, diamond, jewels, nickels, pearls, blankets, everything. I'm a
Ajimara of international waters. Hey!
Wow! Obwa, onya bochire bia.
Obwa wani breno.
Yenkwana no kocho.
It's a broche nani.
Sister, Electroland Ghana Limited showroom for Krani. Kasi Kumase, Omo when you say Samsung, TCL, Media, and a NASCO product. I don't know when you go through. Omo me able to say Kaswa, Asamai, Makasim, Tamale, Sprinters, Coca-Cola.
Ajimara, it's me na nka ba che adwuma kutu dia so me say ba.
Me private jet no kwa. E be see me na me ba. Let's bygone be bygone. Hey, eniemu a mo pese mo yi no ha bia. Munyi yo ye be yi.
Electroland Ghana, home of electronics and affordable luxury.
Hello? Hello, Auntie Abena. You won't believe what just happened. Grandma received her 4 TV. 4
TVs?
Yes, 4.
Okay, I'm coming. Kojo me there, Wahi.
I'm not able to.
It's like a scandal now. You are using it to spread grandma like that.
Spread grandma?
4 TVs, 2 fridges, microwave. Abba, Kojo, why? Do you want to open an electrical shop for her?
Hey, no. It's a regular 100 cities I send her.
I'm sure it's Uncle Atu.
Let's call him.
Atu, why?
Atu,
why are you spreading a grandma with appliances?
Me? Spread who? When? How? Please, oh, it could be Amma.
Let's call Amma.
Let me call her.
Hello?
Amma, why?
What are you saying?
Appliances for grandma, no. Why?
Hey, it's not me, oh.
There are some that are critical.
Let's call grandma.
Let's call grandma.
Hello?
Hey, grandma. So who is buying all those stuff for you?
Call me Granny Cash. Grandma know the joke, the luckiest. If they do me 5 hours here. When I buy ticket 100 cedis, I pay them small or big. I automatically get my free gift.
Hey, sir! Yes, so with the luckiest, anytime you buy tickets up to 100 cedis, whether small or at once, you are guaranteed to win a free gift. TV sets, fridges, hampers, airtime, cash. Remember to dial *712#, choose option 4 and follow the prompt. With the luckiest, everybody wins. Even Granny Cash.
You're probably wondering how Ebo got here. Oh, Ebo. You see, Ebo is not a bad guy. He's got plans. Big plans. But there's just one small problem. His wallet didn't get the memo. So he decides to take a shortcut. That was a bad idea. And that's how he found himself sitting across area champion, the great Abu Kayoyo. Let's just say, not every quick fix fixes everything. But with a Stanbic loan, he gets the upgrade he needs and the freedom to actually breathe. With a Stanbic loan, the only thing chasing you are your dreams.
Tonight, my guest is Moses Baiden. He is the founder and CEO of the Margins Group, comprising 4 interesting companies. So the Margins ID Systems, then there's the ICPS, and then there's also IMS and IMS2. You tell us what those companies are. Done work for NIA. We all know Margins for the Ghana card. Very controversial at some point in the journey. But now he provides service for DVLA, for NHIA, controller, even the e-gates, you do that as well. So how did you get involved in the Ghana card business? What year was this and why was it so controversial?
So once we had fixed our vision that we wanted to be in the identity space, anything that concerned identity was key for us.
All right.
So during the Rollins era, I think it was something like 97 to 99, this idea of national ID came up.
Mm-hmm.
And SNET put out a tender.
Okay.
And because in 95, I had made up my mind to start switching to identity as our core vision, as an identification company. When they brought up that tender, the only Ghanaian company that bid was us.
The rest are all foreign companies?
All of them were foreign. But the tender, we submitted the tender, but it never came to fruition. Then in 2000, President Kufuor came to office. And he also came and started talking about a national ID, right? And because a national ID is the biggest identity tender, if you're not involved, if you say your main business is identity, and you're not involved in the national identity of your own country, then basically your dream will be stillborn. Because at that time, we had also, Peter and I had become partners, Peter Blom, had transferred knowledge, his licenses, his intellectual property for his software, had got introductions to all his suppliers. He had helped me arrange credit with all the suppliers. You know, Ghana raising money was difficult. But through Peter's network and creditworthiness, You know, all these suppliers became my suppliers, and I inherited some of his credit lines. And so the Danish government also had a program in Ghana called the Private Sector Development Program, which was trying to pair Danish and Ghanaian businesses. And since we were on that route already, we went through that Private Sector Development Program and became the most successful of those programs worldwide, right? And so we also got grants from the Danish government, and we got soft loans, and we got technical assistance, and we got training for free.
So by the time Ghana was ready for the national ID, you were ready?
From 95, I'd been on my journey. So by the time Mr. Goff said he wanted to come and do national ID, I was already raising money to build a factory. In fact, it had been approved. The first card production secure facility in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow, by 2007?
No, we raised the money. In fact, we raised it from 98. In 1999, I sent 6 Ghanaians that are hired from here to Denmark for training under the Private Sector Development Program.
Wow.
We created Margins ID Systems Limited, which is now Margins ID Group. Out of Margins ID Systems Limited, which is a technology company.
I see.
We established Margins ID Systems Applications Limited, right? And this software and IP that we took originally from Peter Blum is what we've built technology on since 2000. So even those in the ID technology space, in terms of hardware and infrastructure and so on, we are 27 years old in that already.
There was a lot of controversy around your work with NIA. I think there were 2 groups of issues: a national ID system and a private company. What are they doing together? It's almost like for every card produced, the company will make money, so people are not happy. And I also feel like it's a local company, right? What expertise do they have? That seems to be the main issue. At least I remember 2007, 2008, 2009-ish. So I think when the NDC came to power in that first term, there were some controversies around this. Am I describing this right? How did you navigate those controversies?
Oh, it's because, in Ghana, people believe in making money without doing anything. And so if they're big contracts, people want them. But they don't have the capacity to do it. But our laws and our policies support local content, but we don't implement it. So if we started building a factory from 1998 through to all that time, and by the time the first national ID was coming, we had already secured the financing. So we joined the prime contractor to tender, and we produced, people don't know, the first national ID cards in Ghana were produced by us. The first ones, with the 2D barcode. We produced all 16.5 billion of them right here in Ghana. Because our factory was built. You see, you can't wait for the market to come to you. You have to be ahead of the market. So from 95, when we decided to build a factory, we actually started building the factory in 2004.
So you're printing the cards in Ghana?
We produced them.
Yes, produce the cards in Ghana? From scratch?
We're the first African company to produce a secure national ID card on African soil.
Wow.
We produced it in Ghana. Many people didn't know that. And so there's a balance between trying to be private because you're a security company and also letting people be aware of what you do. And it seems that people didn't really know what our capacity was or what we did. And of course, if you try to break the mold and break new grounds, you get a lot of enemies. And most of them are even foreign companies paying journalists to write all kinds of things,
So some of the opposition was from outside?
Yes.
Were there foreign companies who wanted the contract to do what you were doing?
Of course.
But did the government choose you because they felt that for national ID, it required, for security level, you needed a local company?
Don't forget that we won a tender.
All right.
We won a tender with a foreign company. I formed a consortium of local companies because I didn't want the local companies' front to break.
Okay.
So I took the companies that had some core competency.
And brought them together into one.
Yes. Teardrill at that time was the first wireless broadband company in Ghana for communication. Soft, led by Herman Hess, was the first software company in Ghana. Blue Chip was the first sort of computer hardware company. You remember Blue Chip?
Yeah.
And Sambus was also hardware infrastructure and bank, infrastructure company. And we were an identity company.
So you came together as a local consortium?
I put them together. Look, Sambus wanted the personalization in that national ID because they represent, at that time, Data Card, which was the biggest peso company in the world. They had presented Data Card because they were in the banking industry for banking cards, but they were not in the identity market. But I could see the potential conflicts. So I brought them in. Soft was interested in writing the software for the national ID. In order for them not to go and join somebody else, I brought them in. Blue Chip was at that time an Oracle representative and also hardware. We brought them in. And Third Rail was communication. We brought them in. We formed a company called Ghana Identification Company Limited. In order to get Sambus to join, people think Ghanaian companies cannot come together. They can.
They did.
But it depends on what's behind it. You have to have an effective strategy. People have to benefit. They have to agree. And there has to be a very strong legal framework.
A Ghanaian company working in a PPP arrangement with a state entity.
No, and the first part was the PPP agreement.
It was the second part.
It was
later on.
So when we formed GIDs, I became the CEO.
Okay, I'm moving forward. I get that point.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you are Ghanaian business in our political environment, providing a critical national service.
Yeah.
As a partner with government, with all the issues around, it must be very risky.
Very risky and very difficult. Because it's also still a mindset thing. Ghanaians don't even believe in other Ghanaians, right? So once you're black and you're a Ghanaian, they assume certain things.
So are you saying that if an American or Korean or German company had been the company to be doing the national ID,
no one would have come.
The controversies around this
wouldn't come up.
You think so?
Yeah, I know.
Are there any other African countries where Africans are doing national ID apart from your company?
No, because we work on the road less traveled.
So are you saying that from the whole SSA, there's no African country where a company like yours is providing their national ID?
There's no company like us in Africa.
There's no company like yours in Africa?
No.
So where do Nigeria, where do South Africa, where do they get their national ID from?
Mostly from foreign companies.
You are sure about this?
In Nigeria, after we built our factory, there's another factory in Nigeria, right? Making cards, but they're mostly focused in the banking sector. They are now trying to come to the ID sector.
So in ID, there's no company like yours in Africa?
We can do everything from end to end, right? Because we have a technology company and we have a manufacturing company. And with the technology company and manufacturing company, we can make any solution that we think about with the capacity that we have. So we conceptualize, we design, and we build our own systems. And we prove that it works. But that means that you have to have a high sense of idealism and a high sense of fulfillment to be able to say, okay, we're going to invest so much money into this and we're going to build a product. But it's not just luck, it's a process. It's like Benz saying we're going to bring a new model of Benz, we're going to research it and we're going to do it for 5 years, we'll spend $20 million and we'll make a car. That's the way that we need to be thinking. So we build them, right? So you take a lot of risk because it's not just the technical risk, there's also political risk, there's an environmental risk, there's a mindset risk, there's all kinds of risk.
We'll talk about Africa when we come back.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff you do on the continent and also what you do for other government agencies. This is a point of view. Tonight we're speaking to Moses Baiden of the Margins Group. They are 35 and this is a special interview to reflect on some of that journey. Stay with us.
Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get Sumo, Rambo, and get Sumo Super. And the Polytank we did.
Polytank, Papa no Asa.
Hello, Auntie Abena. You won't believe what just happened. Grandma received her 4 TV. 4 TVs? Yes, 4.
Okay, I'm coming. Kojo me there, Wahi.
I'm not able to.
It's like a scandal now. You are using it to spread grandma like that.
Spread grandma?
4 TVs, 2 fridges, microwave. Abba, Kojo, why? Do you want to open an electrical shop for her?
Hey, no. It's a regular 100 cities I send her.
I'm sure it's Uncle Atu.
Let's call him.
Atu? Why?
Atu?
Why are you spreading a grandma with appliances?
Me? Spread who? When? How? Please, it could be Amma.
Let's call Amma.
Let me call her.
Hello?
Amma, why?
What are you saying?
Appliances for grandma, no. Why?
Hey, it's not me, oh.
There are some that are critical.
Let's call grandma.
Let's call grandma.
Hello?
Hey, grandma. So who is buying all those stuff for you?
Call me Granny Cash. Grandma know the joke, the luckiest. If they do me 5 hours here. When I buy ticket 100 cedis, I pay them small or big. I automatically get my free gift.
Hey, sir! Yes, so with the luckiest, anytime you buy tickets up to 100 cedis, whether small or at once, you are guaranteed to win a free gift. TV sets, fridges, hampers, airtime, cash. Remember to dial *712#, choose option 4 and follow the prompt. With the luckiest, everybody wins. Even Granny Cash.
Attention all State Housing Company Limited homeowners, landowners and clients. From November 3rd to December 31st, 2025, the State Housing Company Limited is giving you a 15% discount on all outstanding payments.
Oh yes, pay less on your ground rent, land regularization, lease renewals, consents to developer assigned and service charges, and secure your ownership today.
Visit any SHC office nationwide to make your payment in full to benefit from the 15% discount.
You can locate the State Housing Company Limited at Ring Road West, adjacent STC Yard and Accra Digital Center.
For more information, visit our website www.statehousing.gov.gh or call 0302-221-422 or 0552-725-656 or 0503-083-393. Remember, this offer ends December 31st, 2025. Don't wait, pay less today.
National Thanksgiving Service for Ghana. Hallelujah. Alpha Bokasia 2025. Basso Mimneda 20th December was 10,000 crying. And no panels on 7 a.m. Team. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Psalm 150 verse 6. Mumma dia huminyina enye radiaye. Music ministers, award-winning minister Selina Boateng, NKG, DJ Paloma, and others. Mawafadienye bibia Ghana huasha sudiewemu. Aglo International penny for Tunsafro bibia. But for Bokasia 2025, Saturday, 20th December, was 10,000 crying. Anopa nonson. Kai nefa vuvuzela. Tambourine. White handkerchief. Whistle, any bibia diye radia yebra, near him and sa and share radia ni mwenyam. I hope you glorious, be aglow for Jesus.
We're still here with Moses Baiden discussing the journey of the Margins Group. So as we speak, we're told that Ghana Card is the single source of truth. And indeed, yesterday, the National Insurance Commission sent a circular to the media that anybody who wanted to renew insurance had to use the Ghana Card. So in a sense, the Ghana Card's success and acceptance gives you pleasure because it's become, despite its difficult beginning, it's become...
Not just me, it gives us pleasure. All the excellent people in the Margins team.
Yeah.
And like I said yesterday, I'm only the figurehead. There's so many excellent people who make it work. Every day we wake up, we're so happy that we've built a product right from the center of the earth in Ghana and it's regarded as first class, not African or third world. And it works better than most in the world. And it's received many awards internationally.
And are your people all Ghanaians, most of your staff?
Most of my staff, maybe 99% are Ghanaians.
Trained here?
No, mostly trained everywhere.
Okay, so it's a global Ghana team. So now, where the Ghana Card is going in terms of what governments want to do with it is the right thing, right? It's almost like it must replace all other cards because I'm told, for example, SNIT have to yield for the Ghana Card to be the main card, that kind of thing.
It's taking time for people to understand.
All right.
But it's not just the card. It's a system. The National ID system was conceptualized, designed, built, and financed by us in conjunction with NIA with its own requirements to be a fundamental database that confirms that people are who they claim they are. In person or remotely, it is the anchor of the new digital revolution because you can do transactions whilst proving that you are who you are, and your rights and privileges can be exercised online. And you can discharge your duties and obligations online at a fraction of the cost that you would have to do in person, 24 hours a day. That's the first statement. The second statement is that it's anchored, its sustainability is anchored on two pillars. One is e-government services, which takes out the human factor, takes out corruption, brings up speed, accountability. And the other is an e-commerce platform that allows businesses to connect and to transact seamlessly. After these two big platforms, it's sustained by two things in terms of government. One is that government spends, and this is a study we've done, about $1.5 billion every 10 years on duplicated services. When I say duplicated services, of the 22 subsystems I told you exist in the National ID, a lot of agencies have a number of them. And government pays for them several times.
So we are wasting money.
We are wasting 1.5 billion. We've done a study, the numbers showed. It's taking time to remove the 1.5 billion. But if you remove the 1.5 billion, government saves that 1.5 billion. Of course, there are problems with removing that 1.5 billion.
Because some of the agencies will fight this.
People are beneficiaries of a corrupt, unclean, non-transparent system. People. So, to have the political will to push this through comes with some collateral. But it's important. If you look at ghost names, recent scandals, with the National ID, all those things should be things of the past.
Do you have a solution for the controller to remove ghost names?
We've already built a system for the controller.
You've built, are they using it?
Well, I understand they're about to launch it.
So they will use it?
I hope so.
And how will the system remove ghost names?
It's very simple. We have one fundamental database, Bernard. You can't be in the National ID twice.
No.
Because your fingerprints are with the NIA, your face is with NIA. And we can, in 300 milliseconds, confirm that you are who you are here. And we can tell you are sitting exactly at this location. So you are not dead, right?
So you can't pay me if I'm dead. And you can't pay me twice.
So when you are being onboarded into the government service, we verify you biometrically. Whether you sit on your home and then apply and be verified, your information, which is authorized by law, is transferred from the National ID database into the government employment database. So you're alive, we know you. Now, every time you go to work, you are going to be paid. We can verify you. Every time you get verified, you get a unique code. And we can create a distributed ledger, like blockchain or quasi-blockchain effect, and distribute it to all the regulatory people who should know that you've been employed and you are there. So you can't be a ghost.
So we can eliminate ghost names with the system you've built?
We have it already.
When did you build it?
2024.
Okay. So is the finance ministry that has to direct for the controller to
Well,
use it?
we've actually done all the testing with controller. I believe we've even finished the user acceptance test for controller. They are waiting for financial clearance.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you do for NHIA?
National Insurance Authority. We built them a verification platform based on biometrics and a data warehouse.
To verify, so that, again, claims
Because
and that kind of thing.
Claims, you can just forge them. If once you can compromise human beings.
Are they
this
using
system,
it? Is NHIA using it?
Oh, they are deploying it.
So they will remove fake claims?
If you go to the hospital, you verify and we have a liveness detection that will show that you are alive and you went to this hospital. When you put a verification code of that visit and biometric verification to the transaction code that you are doing, you now can connect the person to the transaction and the money.
What are you doing for DVLA?
DVLA will build them a 360, they call it DVLA 360, a vehicle registration system and a licensing system.
Wow.
That connects all cars that come into Ghana with all the other services that the DVLA works. So DVLA's revenue has gone up.
I understand the e-gates at the airport is something you did or you were part of.
We're the first company to build a complete border control system in Africa.
You call it a border control system?
Yes.
So when I came,
the e-gates are only a part of it.
So when I came in and I put my passport in that thing, that green thing, it's just part of a system that you built?
When you put your passport, we're reading either the information on the data page, if you don't have a chip, or we're reading the chip in the data page.
It was a data page I think they put on.
Or the chip But the data page has it depends whether you have the old one or the new one.
I don't even remember.
Okay. And the e-passport applet on your Ghana card.
Okay.
We're comparing that to Interpol's watch list. We're comparing that to ICAO's public key directory. We're comparing that to the document fraud system to see whether it's a fraud, because you can look at this, it compares the security features. And today, immigration is also able to compare it to local watch lists.
So it's working?
It works.
How many passports?
150,000 people have gone through it this year.
150K?
Yeah.
So very soon you may even not have to meet immigration officers personally.
No, ICAO is transitioning to what you call a DTC. Digital Travel Credentials.
Good.
Now that we have biometrics and then we have databases that can connect that, they are piloting some airports now. I think Dubai and some other places where you don't take your passport, you just walk through. It does your face recognition, it knows your passport, it compares.
Are other African countries using your services? Or have they used your services in the past?
Yes. We are doing some African countries, their national ID. We're doing the Gambian national ID, driver's license, foreigner's ID, alias ID. We are just about, we won a contract in 2024 to run international tender. And the whole world bid, we won.
The whole world bid?
Yeah, and we're transitioning their old system. So next year we're signing, next year we'll start the implementation of 15-year PPP.
In Gambia?
In Gambia. I mean, more than 15 African countries have been here.
So it seems as
asking us to come and change their national ID system.
So then you cannot say that you are a prophet without honoring your own country, because at least your own country has used you. So therefore, when other African countries come, your government does use your service.
It took me a long time to be a prophet to recognize my own country.
But you admit that now, when they see what you do for your government, it gives them confidence.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because despite all the negativity and backbites and all that, the work speaks for itself. Recently at the CEO Summit, President Mahama said he got a call from the President of Congo for a reference, and he told him that we did a fantastic job.
Wow.
He said that in public. So if your president says that about your company, you are proud. Before Donaldo went out of office, every time I met him, he would say, Moses, man, you're so brilliant. Magis is so brilliant. The products you make are so brilliant.
So presidents are collecting funds for your hard work?
Someone said in private, so it's not about funds.
But it's good, which means that now they've accepted that you are the company that...
I met 3 African presidents who have told me that the wish margins was in their country. I mean, like, we wish margins was our country's company. Are you with me? And so that I think makes everybody at margins very happy.
What's the next? 35 years is great, but you keep changing from the way you describe this, from laminators to this.
So,
what's next?
We see the world at margins as a global place. And in Africa, we have to remove the mental barriers. We see Africa as one marketplace. And we see ourselves as African. And we're not accepted anywhere else. Everywhere else, the rules will be against us. So we got this place called Africa, which is wild and beautiful and has great potential. We shouldn't see it as a place of scarcity. We should see it as a place of opportunity. It won't be easy. But with the excellent team that we have, and with the resources that we can reach globally, we should be able to solve the problems. So that's the quest we are on. Wow. And so we're building companies internationally, in Europe, in America. We're going to start one in Asia. There's a reason why. And we want to reach talent globally. Because with digitalization, talent is everywhere.
So from your father's garage to a multinational.
With a strong team of believers. And the believers take you far. You can't do this if you're not really passionate, if you're not idealistic.
And if
you're not strongly motivated.
And if you don't think ahead, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We're speaking to Moses Baiden, who's the founder and the CEO of the Margins Group. Incredible story on their 35th anniversary. We highlighted the company. Many more things to discuss, but we limited it to the 35-year-old journey. Hope you've learned something. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.